What's up everybody, this is post-production Alex here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this at the beginning of the episode. So the reason why it took so long is I spent way too long building this farm. It is working now, everything is timed properly, I have the some modules set up and everything, but this is just a PSA to everybody out there. If you play on a server, this doesn't really apply if you play on a single player world because it really won't make a difference, but if you play on a server, ask around, make sure people have built the farm first, build some pieces of it to make sure they work properly, because I had to build one farm, take it all down, build another farm, mess with the timings. It took, I think I said 12 hours in the video. It was probably longer than that. I think for a solid 3 days, I was tinkering and playing around with the farm in the blast chamber. So just PSA out there, make sure it works before you build it. Don't make the mistake that pre-production Alex made and get all excited and say this is going to be awesome, and it will be, don't get me wrong, but just make sure it works before you build it. What is up everybody, my name is Alex, this is Alex Plays Games, and boy oh boy, we have a lot to do and a lot to go over. So last episode we finished the mob farm and built a kelp farm right here. It is working great. I only made a few changes aesthetically and then one functional difference. So I did go ahead and carpet this all lime green. I have the chest line moved from over here to over here so that way you can see the farm in all of its wonderful glory. I changed it to a hopper line that's coming over here, and then I have this scaffolding for now, but that's going to change once I get the fuel system in place to drop the items off up here. But I just have the hopper line going into this smoker right here. I have some dried kelp blocks right here going into this hopper. I have it powered right now so it's not dumping everything in, so it actually smelts faster than it produces, which is a good thing. That way it doesn't get backed up, because if it were to get backed up, these hoppers would get full over time and then things would just sit there and despawn. So I'd so much rather have it like this. The next thing you're going to notice is I built a barrier around the mob farm. Now it's definitely not done, it was really just to go ahead and encase the inside, but the next thing we're going to do is actually build it up a couple layers and then surround it with concrete, or at least get started surrounding it with concrete. Now you may be asking yourself, where are you going to get all of that concrete? Well, that is what we're going to tackle today. So I had a couple other plans, but I'm really tired of building with smooth stone, and I think it looks great, but I think this is overdoing it. At some point, I need to kind of spice it up a little bit. So the other minor thing I want to do over here, as you can see, is expand out this little villager home. So I finally got those villagers from a friend who owed me some. I never really got around to it, mostly because I didn't want to deal with dragging him here. But I did, and then I had two, I gave them some food, and now there's a lot. And it's great because I actually have some pumpkins on me. So I did trade with a couple of them, but now there's really more than I can handle. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these. I'm gonna build a villager trading hall soon, but right now I want to tackle the big thing, the TNT duper concrete farm, because I can't sit there and for these big projects in that lake going back and forth and back and forth. So we're definitely going to need a lot of resources, and this is going to be another jam-packed episode, very, very busy, but I think we will be able to get it done. Another thing you are going to notice is the pumpkin farm. Now, granted, it does make this pumpkin a little obsolete. However, it still does make pumpkins, but I did go ahead and replace the alternating rows with melon seeds. So you can see right here, it is producing melons. It's actually so much faster like this. I really did not think it was going to produce so much more quickly. It goes off so much more often now. So the big thing, the big farm, the TNT duper concrete farm, we need to get started. Alright, so I went ahead and cleared out an area for the blast chamber from ilmango, and I will definitely link that video up on the top right. I went ahead and blew up part of the forest, and while I was doing that, I went over here and I noticed that we have a slight infestation of iron golems, which is weird because, I mean, there's no zombies or anything over here. There is some spawnable space right there, but I wasn't trying, and there's like 10 of them. So I don't know where they're all coming from. I thought they only spawned if the villagers were scared, but we have a lot of new friends. But I am starting to build this up. So this is the progress for now. I'll go ahead and pop back on recording as soon as I start getting the pushers and TNT duper in place. Alright, so a progress update. Man, this stuff is honestly terrifying because with all these observers, I'm so terrified to break a block and have everything come out of sync. It only happened once, but I'm pretty sure I fixed it. You just want to be super careful because you're going to be blowing stuff up, and the last thing you want to do is blow up anything here or around you. But it's looking good so far. I only need to add the side pistons right here, which are going to smush everything together. If I get a better look up here, everything is coming along pretty fine. I went to the spawn and bought some more pistons and observers because this is pretty resource intensive, and I made probably 1,000 scaffolding, but it is coming along well. Once I add in the side circuits, everything should be good on this end, and it's just going to be getting the timing and then the TNT duper up on top. But I am super excited, and I cannot wait for this to be done, mostly because once it's done, I don't have to place anything and break it. Alright, so I am definitely almost there. I have all of the piston circuits and everything all done. The last thing I need to do is put in the TNT duper at the top, and I think that's finally it. I've been going at this for like 2 hours and I am ready for it to be done, but once it is done, it's so awesome because it's a modular system. You don't have to worry about, this isn't for one purpose. You can use it for a tree farm, you can use it for concrete. Anything you can shove into here, you can blow up. Alright, so I am taking the last of the scaffolding down. Now I know I have terrible luck with these things, and there's going to be some floating around, and I definitely want to double check because I do not want to mess with a TNT blast chamber having anything going wrong, and that is definitely not what I want. But I think it's it. Oh, man, this took hours and hours to build, but it looks like it came out really great. So if I actually come up here, because I did leave my redstone shulker up there, I'll go ahead and grab this, and it should be done. It looks like this is the input right here. I should have thought that one through. Let's see if I can come up here. So this would be the input right here. All right, it looks like it's working, and it's starting to push stuff around, which is a really good sign. All right, I'll be right back and see when it actually dupes the TNT. Okay, so bad news. I kind of got it working, but not very consistently, and I mentioned it on the server, and somebody said that this design doesn't work on the server. The reason why is the block separator right here doesn't work properly for whatever reason. Luckily, there is another design that utilizes pretty much the same thing. The top wiring is just a little bit different, so I'm gonna have to go with that design. And it stinks because it kind of works when the input is slow, but I mean, when you're going in at one or two or zero ticking it, it's not working properly. So a lot of time was wasted, but some of it is okay because most of the bottom part, so pretty much everything from here under, is the same. So I will be back with that new design. Okay, welcome back. It's been half a second for you guys. I think it's been like 4 hours, but I have finally got it to work. So you flip on the lever and you start placing, and what it does is it goes ahead and it places everything down here. And let me get a better view of it. So when it's placing it, it actually places it in like a spiral pattern, so it'll go edges first and then work its way in. Now the explosion method is different, so you have instant wire running down here, and this TNT duper, which gets shoved into there and explodes up there. So if I actually go ahead and fly up there, this one actually allows you to place some buttons down, and then you can go ahead and test different segments of the wire. So if I go ahead and do this one right here, that's going to turn on that, which will turn on the push, and once it's done, that's going to travel over there, and as soon as they're being pushed down, it explodes, which is awesome. So right now what I'm doing is working on the concrete module. So this farm is still modular, it still has the same basic layout, and the input stream is up here where I was originally placing blocks. Now you can sit there and you can place the blocks, but you can also feed blocks from anywhere. So you could have different farms pushing in a line of blocks and having it just be pushed in there. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the concrete module. Once that's working, we will finally be able to actually have some concrete instead of smooth stone everywhere, which I like smooth stone, but I think when you start building everything out of smooth stone, it starts getting a little old. A little update though before I do that, the farms have been, because I've been spending hours doing that. So even though I've been down here, I've definitely been getting quite a lot of gunpowder and some other drops. And the kelp farm has been working fantastic since this thing just runs and runs and runs. It's great. And you can see I just made some kelp blocks and it's already put out a bunch more. So this thing is working great. So I will be right back. And when I am back, you will see the concrete module. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I am so happy right now. So I got everything working pretty consistently. I am super thrilled about it. As you can see right here, I already have some concrete and everything. So if I actually fly up to this little module, now I have been feeding in cobblestone because I've been doing some testing, kind of working on the timing of everything. But right here I have a waterlogged stair. Now originally this was on a timer, but what I did is I replaced it with 0-tick smart pistons. So as soon as a block gets pushed in here, it pushes, and then these update that. Now it was funny because I tried like 8 different 0-tick smart piston designs until I found this one. Thankfully another player on the server has actually built this, so I went ahead and looked at his because he has a tree farm going into it. The funny part is that this 0-tick piston matters too, so you can't use sticky pistons, which is weird because when you 0-tick them, they don't stick on the block, but doesn't matter, it's all working now. All the frustration, it's usually I try to put out 2 episodes a week. This one, it's only going to be 1 because I spent, I think, a combined 12 hours building the first one and then taking it down and like messing with it and then building this one. But thankfully I adapted ilmango's concrete module design right here, and now since that's no longer on a timer, I had to change the timing down there, and it seems to be working now. Now I don't have a lot of concrete powder, but I do have a few just to show you what it's going to look like. So you just stand here, and then it just sits there and it places everything, and that waterlogged stair will turn it into concrete. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to turn on the replay cam mod, and what I'll do is I'll sit here and I'll place blocks and wait for it to explode, and then as soon as it explodes, I'll go ahead and show you the footage. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so you just heard that. I'm going to cut the in-between. It probably took, like 40 seconds or so, but if I come down here, you can see this explosion mass. Now, these blocks on the side are remaining because I still do have to play with the timings, and that will definitely come along at some point. So I'm not sure when I'll be able to kind of get that. It really depends on what you're pushing into it. I think when you have it, consistency really matters in the farm. But I'll go ahead and stop recording that. So I'm going to go ahead and show the footage now. All right, so you saw that footage. That is awesome. I really am happy. Now, if I come down here, or not, see if I can get back up there. I have really weird luck with elytras. You know, like sometimes, you know, I really got it, it's going well, and then other times I do that. Come on, I believe in myself. Let's see if that's enough. Oh, look at that. See? Believe in yourself, and that's enough. Regardless, you can see over here the hopper clock is gone, and that's because this technically does work for 0 tick. I think I'm going to change it though to, because for whatever reason it doesn't seem to be putting it placing the blocks as fast as it should be. I'm not 100% sure why. Anyways, it's working. I am happy about it. Everything is going well. This has been very long for me, but the last thing that we need to do is I think we're going to start building a sugarcane farm, because I kind of want to make it large. I don't want a tiny baby sugarcane farm, and I want to start something a little bit bigger. So I'm going to figure out where we can put it first. It'll probably be on this side because I want to attach some more modules to here. But I'll go ahead and gather some of the resources and we will get started on that. I apologize, we're not going to finish that today, and that's only because I spent way too much time on that. Oh, way too much time on that. But I will be getting the resources and be right back. All right, I am loading up the concrete for the explosion chamber, and God, it's just so satisfying to not have to sit here and do this manually. All right, guys, so I have made a bunch of concrete, which was super easy to do. Sort that, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab this stuff. So it took me a while to pick a design. So on this server, the items clump together to reduce lag, so there's not a bunch of entities going everywhere. So if I start throwing these concrete blocks, you'll see even if I throw them far away, they're gonna clump together. I think even, yeah, see, even down there, and if I throw it over here. So with most sugarcane farms, like if I actually go to creative, I was messing around with stuff, so don't make fun of that. So on this top layer here, it was hard because if I were to actually start planting, sometimes it works really well in my favor, and other times like that, it didn't. So that was 9 sugarcane right there, and there's only a few rows. So it can either be, you can either get really lucky like that, where I collected it, but let's see if I can go ahead and do it again, and like that. That probably wouldn't happen, but it would instead bounce on the block, and that really does stink though, because I don't want to be losing, 75% of the sugarcane. You can see it almost all clumped, but there we go. So we got lucky that time. So it is pretty hit or miss, and let's see, I was messing with another farm, as you can see over there, but I think what we're gonna do is I found a lossless sugarcane farm by somebody of the name Mindstop. It's a small channel, but he did a really good job, or she. I'm not actually 100% sure. So they did a really good job. I really like the design. It looks really good. So the next thing I need to do is find a place to put it. Now, this thing needs a lot of space for just the chamber, but it also needs a lot of space for all the modules. And the next one is going to be a tree farm. So I'm thinking I don't want to have too much space. I don't want it to get too close. So if I actually come over here, I might build it right here. So it's 17 long. Let me see if I can actually get my shovel. Okay, so it's 17 long and it's 5 wide. So this should be enough space. Let me go ahead and put a torch down somewhere where things start spawning and I get angry. So let's see, this is 25, so it would be 42, I guess. Yeah, look at that. So 42 and then 5 long. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put it right here since the road is continuing. I haven't put the wool on it yet, but we'll go ahead and put it here. So what I'll do is set up for all the projects I do, and it helps too when I want to throw random stuff in it later. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. So we'll put the white concrete in there. It's 30 pistons per layer, and then it's 2 lines per layer. So they'll go this way. So we'll have probably 4 layers. I think was 1100 sugarcane per hour, which isn't terrible. But we're definitely gonna do that next episode, because believe me, you don't want to know how long I spent on that thing. And let me go ahead and get rid of I'll unload the schematic later. I definitely did build it from a schematic. The guy did provide it, and I'm gonna link that in the description as well. But man, that helps so much. But I spent hours and hours and hours on this thing. Finally, it's working consistently. I sat there with an inventory full of blocks. But the other thing you can do is, let's see here. So we have this chest full. Now this chest is almost empty, and that is because I actually had to go into work today. I didn't have to work from home today, so there was no way that I was gonna miss an AFK opportunity. So I went ahead and put all the I almost said sugarcane, all the gunpowder in here. So in the last few days, now granted, this isn't the most optimal, but in the last few days we almost have, actually we have a little over 3 double chests worth of gunpowder, and pretty much every other drop except for string. For some reason that one's not 3, but a lot of the time I wasn't spending AFK. I was spending building this, and because there's caves and everything underground and not in the proper like AFK spot up here, we're definitely not getting as much as we could, but we're getting enough, definitely. I mean, I filled up my fireworks shulker over there. We've been living large, so it's been good. Okay, so that is all the time we have for today. I said I was never going to do this again, but I lied. I'm getting better at it, I think. But that is all the time we have for today. So if you can, leave a like. If you want to say something, leave a comment. And if you want to, subscribe. Other than that, have a great day.